All right, everybody, get ready. Because we are diving deep into a pretty interesting take on this super full moon in Aries coming up on October 17th,
Hmm.
2024. Now, we always try to find unique sources for these deep dives, right?
Absolutely.
And this one is really cool. It brings together astrology. We love that.
Of course, of course.
But with this added layer of like almost ancient wisdom, you know?
I like it.
Like, think I Ching meets your horoscope, which is
Mhm.
not something you see every day.
Right, right.
And it's got some pretty powerful things to say about finding balance, taking action, and maybe even attracting some good fortune along the
I
way.
love that. Love that.
So one of the things that really jumped out at me about this source is how it talks about this full moon being a time for like intense emotional transformation.
Okay.
It's almost like our feelings become this potent inner fuel, especially with all that fiery Aries energy in the mix. What are your thoughts on that?
It's so funny because when I was looking at the source material for this, that's the first thing that jumped out to me too.
Really?
Because, I mean, when we think about Aries, we think action,
Yeah.
right? It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's ruled by Mars, planet of energy, drive, all that.
Right.
And so this whole idea of like this inner fuel, like you were saying, it needs somewhere to go.
Right.
Because the full moon is already like amplifying our emotions,
Oh,
right?
sure.
So if we don't channel that constructively, especially with Libra, which is all about balance opposing Aries at this time,
Right.
it's like it can create a lot of internal friction or you can feel really stuck,
Wow.
like trying to walk a tightrope and ride a roller coaster at the same time.
Oh, that's such a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of how this source uses that imagery of like the balancing scales.
Yes.
It's all about finding that equilibrium, but how do you do that when there's all this energy like literally pushing you forward?
Yeah. And I think that's where the source's mention of the I Ching is really, really interesting.
Sure.
Because, you have the I Ching, this ancient book of wisdom, and it emphasizes constant change.
Right.
It's like this ever-turning wheel, right?
Mm.
And it's saying, hey, you need to be constantly, like, improving yourself,
Yeah.
which is a very, very Aries concept,
Right. Yeah.
right? But, and I think this is key, it's about acting with intention. It's not just like blindly rushing into things.
Right. Right.
It's about, there's this great hexagram in the I Ching called inner truth.
Okay.
And it's all about how do we make sure our actions are aligning with our deepest selves?
It's like we're given this permission slip to embrace change, but with a purpose.
Absolutely. And, that brings us to another really fascinating thing this source talks about,
Okay, what's that?
pink lotus.
Yes. The pink lotus. It feels kind of unexpected in all of this, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, what does the pink lotus have to do with this powerful full moon?
Yeah. So the pink lotus, it symbolizes Lakshmi.
Okay.
And Lakshmi, of course, is the Hindu goddess of abundance and beauty.
Yes. Yes.
But it's not about, aggressively going after fortune.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating the right conditions internally that allow abundance to just kind of flow naturally.
Like a magnet almost, right? Because the source mentions this idea of lucky mental strength.
Yes.
And how it's really about finding that inner peace and then letting that draw good fortune to you.
Exactly. Exactly. It's about realizing that true abundance comes from within.
Yeah.
It's that alignment.
Yeah.
And being in the world, but moving with grace, with purpose, just like Lakshmi.
So it sounds like to really tap into the magic of the supermoon, we need that Aries drive, that I Ching wisdom, and then that magnetic energy of the pink lotus.
Yes.
Wow. That's a powerful combination, isn't it?
It is a powerful combination.
It is.
And, just imagine yourself going out into the world, not just with action, but with intention, grace, leaving that fragrance of joy and abundance everywhere you go.
I'm going to be thinking about that a lot this week.
Mm-hmm.
Where in my life can I be more Aries, but also have that grace of the pink lotus? How do I attract that good fortune? I think that's something we should all be reflecting on.